Sign out. This is Almighty Will TV. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get to it. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to episode 2 of the Almighty Will TV YouTube series. Today's episode is about why I quit my job and how you can quit your job. Is your manager annoying? Do you go to work late often? Do you always wake up and hit that alarm button, that snooze button twice, and you trying to get that extra 15 minutes of sleep? Do you drag on to work? Does your manager tell you to clock out? Then this video is for you. Alright, so, backstory, right? Let's go, I'm going to take it back to graduation. Like, soon as I finished school, this is where, because quitting your job, you got to talk about how you got the job too sometimes. So, here we go. So, 2018, about July-ish, in my mind, I was like, boom, I'm going to China, I'm going to teach English, and that's going to be my plan for, the next X years, right? Somewhere along the way, I decided to change my mind. It's like, I gotta get money. It's 2018. Like, you can't go and just be, living life and having fun. I mean, you could, but I ain't trying to be broke. So, I made this dramatic decision literally like a week before I was supposed to go. So then I was just like, all right, so now what? I got student loans get ready to come. What's the plan? So a little bit of this time, I'm job hunting, so I'm putting in job applications, filling out, going online and going to Indeed and, Monster Jobs, all that. And I was getting a lot of rejection letters. And it made me do some self-assessment, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, is it my resume? Like, and I started digging. So I realized that I just didn't have the skills of a mechanical engineer in terms of an employer. Yeah, I went to class, I had some experience, but it's all from the classroom. I didn't have any internships, so I really didn't make myself very marketable. So in that time, I was like, okay, what can I do to make myself marketable? And I came up with a plan, get certifications in like CAD, etc., whatever. And during that time, I got contacted by a company that got my resume from my school. Luckily, so they brought me in and was like, oh yeah, we have this hardware engineering position. And at the time, I had no idea what a hardware engineer was. It was just, I've been mechanical engineering. In high school, I studied all the fields of engineering, never heard of this shit. So I'm just like, man, what is this? So, of course, I'm broke. So I'm just like, man, at this point, I really don't care. I'm taking whatever job is going to pay me a decent amount of money. And that's kind of what I did. And like even down to, the interview, it was all sketchy because, I'm like, what do I do? And it's like, oh, Excel, PowerPoint, Word. But like, what do you, I'm like, no, but what do I do? And it all varies day to day, that kind of thing. And I just chased the money. And it's probably one of the biggest mistakes, but probably the best thing to happen to me. And you'll figure out why as I go through this. So, when I got the job, I didn't really care in the beginning because I was like, oh, I'm getting money, I'm not broke no more, I'm paying my bills, I can afford gas, I don't have to worry about leave the house and be like, okay, how far am I going to calculate the gas, I can just go out and leave, I can buy stuff. So, like a month, but I'll say about 2-3 months in, I started to realize, driving to DC from Baltimore is real hard. And, for some of y'all, my Baltimoreans watching this, it's Baltimore. I know it. It's just I'm on camera, so I got to talk like I got some sense. Anyway, yeah, so I'm driving like hour and a half into DC, and shit was hard. I'm leaving the house 4:45 in the morning, Meanwhile, I'm used to getting up 9, 12:30. So, that was a big transition for me. And I started being real bored. Sometimes you get to a job, you got your training, you got, different things going on at the job, so you don't get into work right away. And it was just like, man, 3 months, I'm still bored. Like, what is going on? So it started to slowly chip away at me. And not to mention, like, doing Excel, PowerPoint, and doing memos for people is not really challenging, and for me, it's almost disrespectful that's the level of work I'm getting. And I'm not no super genius, or nothing like that. But it's just like I just think it's disrespectful that I'm gonna go to school, get a mechanical engineering degree, and then this is the type of work that I'm doing. Like, that's just disrespectful in my book. But what can I do? You know. So, as time went on, I just really started getting a little stressed out about it. I'm talking to my man's Mike about it, and I was like, dog, like I'm going to work, like niggas got me doing. Oh, I can't say niggas, can I? Well, with her, I'll cut that out. Anyway, I was talking to Mike, and he's a software developer, and he's like, dog, you might really want to just go ahead and look into software development because you already have an engineering degree. You're kind of in that field, so you might as well just go ahead and make the transition, learn how to code. Initially, I was like a little hesitant about it because I was like, man, coding ain't easy. Like that's a lot of it was something new to me, and I did like stuff like MATLAB for anybody who's ever used that, and you would know that it's not the same as programming. So long story short, took Mike's advice, did some online courses through TeamTreeHouse, and ended up really settling on Udemy. I'll probably do another video talking about the differences between those two and why I prefer Udemy. But that's what I did, and I did that for about 6-7 months. I want to say, give or take. So meanwhile, over time, Mike's is kind of like staying on my back about it, making sure that hey, where are you? How much did you get done? What do you know? And just kind of make sure I stayed on my shit for that. Really can't think of another word, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna be cussing. But yeah, so let's say for 6 months I was grinding, and initially I had some unrealistic goals, so it kind of added a little bit more stress and anxiety to what I already had. I mean, I'm talking about anxiety. Like I get to work and I'm ready to walk up the door like that minute. It got to the point where I wanted to quit like literally every day. Breaking down at work, this is like mentally exhausted, and just everything was off. My balance between cooking and taking care of all my responsibilities was off. Things in my relationship was kind of off because I was kind of like in my own world, and I really didn't pay attention to anything else that was going on in my life. So it was a real rough time, and it just I had fear, like actual fear that I was wasting my time, that no matter what I did, I was going to be stuck in that job and stuck in that position indefinitely. Like there was nothing I can do to get out of that. And it actually made me a little bit depressed. Now granted, ain't nobody going to therapy, ain't nobody getting no counseling. You just kind of keep it to yourself, but where you at mentally. You're not right. And I really just had to power through it. A lot of people, they say, oh, you should get help and you should, give it some attention and things like that. But it wasn't the best thing for me. Like I'm not the type of person I don't want to sit and lick my wounds. But I don't like that. If I feel a certain type of way, I used that emotion, that feeling of, feeling hopeless and feeling lost, and I used that to kind of push me to go harder. Like, I would literally leave work, drive hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, come home, get on my computer, and work and do courses, do those assignments as much as I could, whether it was going to, 8 to midnight, whether it was 8 to 2 in the morning, like, as much time as I could commit to it, I gave. And I just did it. I just did that for like 6 months. And ended up paying off. Like, I'll say, like, July, I started putting in, I started updating my resume, rebranding myself completely. Like, no more mechanical engineering. I took Chinese off my resume. Straight up, this is who I am. This is what I am. I'm a software engineer. Shout out to my boy Piero because he helped me with my resume. And even Mike, actually, I modeled my resume after his, changed my LinkedIn, everything. And I got contacted by a recruiter, and they started lining stuff up for me. So, then I got an offer. So it was like, boom, like 6 months, hard work, depression, anxiety, all of that mixed into that time period. And then, boom, made it. So now I want to take away from that because I know people probably like, oh, I don't care about software development, or, I'm not an engineer, I ain't go to school. But the lesson I'm trying to give here is that if you want to quit your job, you can't quit your job until you have something else lined up. You got money saved up, meaning you got money in the bank that you can touch, not no credit card, not daddy, mommy, whoever. You got money that you can quit your job and grind and study, go back to school, whatever, for 6 months. But if you go back to school, it's a little different because, you got student loans and things like that. If you can take that debt, and it's realistic. Like, some people go back to school and don't do anything with it, but if you really have a plan, like, your job is not for you, and I mean, like, literally not for you. You can't just, because you can't just quit your job and then just go get another job doing the same thing. Like, it's not going to change anything. You have to change yourself. So that's kind of like the when you change. You can quit your job. You got to make sure you have yourself set up that you can go somewhere else and not have to go back, and you're not going to be broke. You're not going to be homeless, right? And you have to make sure your why is important. Like, if you have a job and it's just not a good fit for you, kind of like for me, where the quality of work is not, for lack of better words, I'm gonna say beneath you. And whether or maybe you're a doctor or you're a lawyer or whatever, and you have poor work-life balance, and whether you have a family or whether you have friends, and like you're always working and you never get time to enjoy your life, because at the end of the day, this is your life. Like, this is what you're gonna do for your life, like, to live. So you gotta get something out of that. And or whether you're somewhere and you don't like your manager or you don't like your peers, and this is not a good environment to be working in. Or and I guess also in my something that I can relate to is like your mental health. Of like, you getting anxiety, you getting depressed, that job is stressing you out beyond belief, then you gotta get out of there. So but again, make sure you got something else lined up. Make sure your next move is planned. Like, plan your next move. Like, look within yourself and say, okay, what do I really want to do? What will really make me happy? Like, if you didn't get paid, what would you be doing right now? And I want you to really think about that. And don't look at the money. I mean, it's important, but don't look at the money right away. Like, first, just do that. Because, chase happiness. Like, chase that. Like, that's important. And then just execute, At least for me, quitting a job was, like, the most exciting thing I've ever done. Granted, like, you feel a little weird doing it because you feel like, no, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really feel bad. It was just, I was afraid of what came next, right? I was like, okay, once I quit, like, I'm not getting money no more. If anything falls through with this next job, like, I am screwed. But I swallowed my fear, and things worked out, and I'm thankful for that. But yeah, if you're anybody who you're in a position where you need to transition from one job to another, or one career path to another, like me, then you just gotta bite down, go hard for whatever it is you're trying to do, and execute. So that's all I have for today. A little bit more backstory on me, and hopefully you got something out of that. Please tune in to the next upcoming episodes, and I will do my best to communicate with you guys through the comment section. So please leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that. Oh, and follow me on Instagram at Almighty Will TV, because I will be posting and I will be watching. All right, that's all. Thanks, guys.